Stay tuned and check out my interview with the Marvel Hasbro team. Ryan, Dan and Dwight. Let's have a chinwag. Hello and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And today, for the first time in 2022, I have the privilege of speaking to the three pillars of many pillars, I'm sure, of the Hasbro Marvel team. It is, of course, Ryan Ting, Dan Yoon from Marvel Marketing, and Dwight Stall from Design. Gentlemen, it is always a pleasure. How are you doing?
Perfect. You?
Good. I'm good. I'm fine. That's always awkward when I throw it out there and everyone's like, who should I talk first? Me? No? Just that awkward silence. But it's fine. We can get into the talking now. So, great fan first Tuesday, by the way. Lots of Spider-Man related reveals. You sort of let us know last year during one of my interviews. You reminded me that it was Spider-Man's 60th anniversary. So it was a very Spider-Man centric theme. So I'm sure even though Dan missed his train to work, he was probably very happy with all the reveals all the same. So obviously I always like getting upgrades and the best versions of particular characters on my shelf. And one of the reveals was a new 2-pack with Spider-Man and Spinneret. And the Spider-Man is basically could potentially be the best comic rendition of Spider-Man in Legends form. So it's got a couple of upgrades. I know Bug's done an interview and Dwight showed it off. So I was just curious, Dwight, when it comes to making those upgrades to characters, is this something you're always, I'm assuming it is, but are you always looking at what you can improve on a figure, and are you listening to the community and to feedback of how you can make those improvements?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's very few figures that we create that you're like, perfect. No need to ever revisit it.
Yeah.
And in this one, we had worked on that figure, and as that was in development, we had begun the work on that pinless technology, and we're like, well, okay, let's get that. It makes perfect sense for Spider-Man with the dual colors of his arm. It's been something that people have always had, a little bit of a, about, right? It's like, no matter how great a figure it is, if he's got these red, pimples on the underside of his arm, it just doesn't look as good as it should. So having that all blue and all red clean breaks was something that we've wanted to do for a long time, and the technology was finally there. And, to be able to update that, Dan really wanted toes, so we added that to it as well. And then with all new arms and legs, we are very proud of this figure. It's packaged with a gorgeous Spinneret figure. That costume is really cool in the red and white. And I think that's just a really nice 2-pack. But we get our ideas from all over the place. Our internal teams discuss things. We share ideas and figure out ways to do things better. And all of you amazing fans, hit us with your suggestions through social media as well. So, it's like, we hear what you guys are looking for, what you like, what you don't like. And we can't always address everything all the time. But when there's something out there that, makes a lot of sense, and it's something that we can, reasonably update or make an improvement to the line, we review it as a team and discuss the pros and cons and see what can be done. So you guys are very a vocal part of the team, to help us kind of navigate these crazy days we all find ourselves in.
Yeah, I'm always looking for as I said, the best version of a character. So I think it's all part of the fun of collecting, and the hobby is always that consistent chase for an upgrade, or it's all because otherwise you just buy everything you want and then that'll be it, hobby over. So I like the consistent chase and the improvements. So just to confirm, it is the retro Spider-Man with the pinless joints, which again, they make such an aesthetic difference. They really do, and then the toe articulation as well.
That is correct.
Yeah, perfect. So you do. I'm sure I ain't the only person that tells you this, but that 2-pack could have very easily been a 3-pack, right?
It could.
Yeah, cool. Just making sure you know. But yes, Spinneret Annie would have been a nice addition, but I'm sure she's now added to your list because again, get us a nice new kid book, and I'm sure there's many other Marvel Legend characters you can add to that. Staying in the world of Spider-Man, of course, you also just before the stream, you teased a picture of No Way Home. So, and you also said during the stream that you've already started development on these brand new figures. So, just touching on it real quick, you said these are all brand new. So you said you've already started work on Andrew and Toby, and again, we know these figures are 2023, but a lot of people are just excited. We're in a Spider-Man hype. I think the Spider-Man hype hasn't really died down since the film came out in December. So are these figures, like, just confirming to everyone out there, these Spider-Man No Way Home characters, they're coming out next year, and they're all brand new. The Andrew and the Toby are going to be brand new. Are they going to be pinless? Like, is there any extra nuggets you can give us?
I can tell you a little bit. We're pretty far along with sculpting. We're getting very close to submitting them for official approval. The Toby has slightly raised webs. Nice. He will be pinless.
Nice.
Andrew is also all new and pinless.
Perfect.
And we've sculpted a whole pile of hands for them. So I think we have like 3 to 4 sets of hands for each figure. And we are early in costing. So I don't know what we'll be able to afford at the end of the day in the set or in the characters or where they go. But we are definitely going to be, we have all the pieces so that, we can, we sculpted everything we could possibly want to sculpt with the figure. And now, we'll have to figure out what we can bring you at the end of the day. But
of course, the people, as I said, people are just excited. I know every time you do a fan event, these are the questions you're seeing in the chat. So I get the same questions as well. Ask the Marvel team this, ask the Marvel team this. But again, people are just excited. That's all it is. Just putting it out there. I know you probably can't answer, but I know it's probably a more complicated answer as well. But likenesses, unmasked heads, all that would be amazing, all right? So just putting it into the atmosphere. Continuing with the MCU, you also revealed the Thor wave at the start of the stream, which was a surprise to me. I didn't realise it was. I was super happy to finally see it revealed, because now I can talk about it. And I'm always happy to see MCU waves in their entirety. You know me, like I live in that world where I enjoy both MCU and comic. I know some people think you have to choose a side, but you don't. You can enjoy both MCU and comic. But a lot of people are also enjoying, from the feedback I'm getting, the waves, the Build-A-Figure waves, which is like the bread and butter. It's like the core of the Marvel Legends brand, I think, is the Build-A-Figure waves. And with the Eternals as a full movie wave, this Thor's a full movie wave, Disney Plus waves are usually a full Disney Plus wave. And then you've got 2 new waves coming out with the Controller and Bonebreaker. Ryan, I guess this is more a question for you. Is this like a conscious decision to separate the movie and the comics, and is it something that's done intentionally with the community in mind?
Yeah, I think we have been doing more movie focused Build-A-Figure waves in recent years, but as someone had a question previously, I think if you look at the total number of figures in a year, movie versus comic, we've been relatively consistent. There might be some slight changes depending on if one year is particularly heavy in entertainment. But no, I wouldn't say that this is indicative of the future. I know for a fact we have mixed waves as well as, all comic and all movie planned for the future. So it just kind of is a case-by-case basis, depending on if the film had enough characters, that you could put in an all movie wave, or if there were like good comic versions of associated characters that we hadn't done that would make sense in a wave. It all just kind of depends. But don't read too much into any like one particular example, I'd say.
Now, as I said, you know me, I've got MCU and comics. I'm all in all the same, but I know, as we know, people have different collecting habits, if you will. So I know it's something that people are noticing, and they're just curious of how it is moving forward. But as I said, it's all good to know. Continuing with the reveals, again, so much stuff. I was so happy to get the Iron Armor Mark 1 at the start of the year in the retro wave, and now we're getting the actual Civil War Spider Armor, which I'm really happy about as well. So like, it's nice to be ticking some of these sort of wish list figures off already. As I said, we're only in Q1 of the year. You also know I love that retro goodness, all right? The wall is complete, all right? And user teased me because you revealed Lizard. So now I'm going to have to like move house or get an extension on so I can keep adding figures to this wall. So please keep it coming. But that sort of brings me into the packaging questions, because again, as a line, it's always evolving and changing, and this is something that Hasbro are consciously doing throughout all lines. And obviously, this is Marvel now taking part with the summer with the Spider-Man releases in particular. Is this something that is going to see sort of go into the Build-A-Figure wave as well and just slowly take over? Because obviously, I love the environment, but I also love these retro figures, and I'd hate them to die out. So I'm just like trying to see where we're going in the future. Like, retro figures ain't going to die and disappear, are they? We're still going to find ways to get everything out.
So 2022 is when we're going to start to see, for Marvel and other brands, start to move to the plastic-free structure, which we revealed last week in those Spider-Man items. So there will be, for the remainder of this year, certain items will be in the closed box, certain will be in the windows or blister card. But starting in 2023, the intent that Hasbro set out, back in 2019, is to remove all plastic from packaging.
Okay. So
that will be phasing in 2023. That being said, Dwight and then Ben and all of our team are working on ways to bring that nostalgia and joy to life still. It is at the end of the day about the figures on the inside, whether it's, VHS style or animation style. So I wouldn't say that would ever go away, but we are looking forward to new ways to keep your wall going, still the flavor of that, but a little bit different, a different form.
As I said, we're just moving into that sort of next generation of collecting. It's like, and like, these are a perfect example of that, as you've got them on display behind you. And these are great. So I really like these. And I know you didn't technically reveal any of these during the live stream, but you did have them at the back, just teasing us in the display, seeing how they all lined up together, and even the way you've got them displayed there, Ryan, look really good. Now with Disney Plus, actually, because I think when you first revealed these, the show wasn't officially revealed to come back. Now the show's actually coming back in 2023. The show's alive again. So I'm sure you've had plans to do more figures anyway. But are we going to see more this year? After Jean and Storm, are there more to trickle out throughout the rest of 2022?
Yes, there will be more for 2022. Wait, what, Dan?
Did you say no? No, go for it.
Yes, so there will be more in 2022. Truth be told, though, when we went into filming PulseCon, actually it was live parts of it, right? And we filmed the interview with the Lee Walls. But when we went into that, the X-Men 97 show was just announced. So
nice.
This line was in development long before we knew what was coming. And I think that show, as we learn more about it and as it finally gets released, it will have an effect on kind of where we want to lean into. But I'll say that the fan reaction for this VHS line and this idea in general has been very good, and Marvel has other types of animation as well. So whether it's X-Men, whether it's others, we will, I think, consider everything in the future. But we knew we wouldn't come out in year one, do all of them at once. I think that was probably a little too ambitious, because you've got the core team, right, of 8, and then you've got some villains and some other support characters who fans remember. So I think it's a longer horizon approach for us. But after Jean, which was the last one, I think there will be another one revealed not too long from now.
Oh, nice. Good to know. There is a 20th every month this year, so it's always an opportunity. What was I going to say? So keeping along with the sort of reveals, you revealed Toad finally, just the 4th figure from that tribute line, which again, even when this package changes, these are in our hands right now. We can forever enjoy these. And there we go. There's Toad right there on the box, looking great. So we were very much speculating within the community, which version of Toad would you go for? Because that first version of Toad was obviously the bigger, fatter Toad, and we were second guessing you're going to use the Doc Ock body. We were all wrong, because you went for the skinny Toad. So I'm just curious, behind the scenes, maybe Dwight, why did you go for skinny Toad over fat Toad? Not that it's the bad option, but I was just curious where your head lies.
Yeah, no, we printed out 4 or 5 different versions. We looked at the version that we ended up with. We were looking at just some of the fun ones, like the janitor version from the X Mansion, and just a handful of the different variations. And we kind of decided that this classic look was, the look we wanted to go with. And then you had to decide whether it was the thicker version or the thinner version. And we thought that, with the body types we have, and to make it look like the Doc Ock body, we thought was just too big. We could have made him thicker like that, but we just thought that would be too massive of a figure for Toad. So, maybe we'll get to that one at some point down the line, but we always kind of were leading towards the art style of the one we chose. And then the real question was more the color way we did for this figure. And that was working with Jesse and our team to figure out which was the right coloring that was preferred. So we kind of always wanted to do this version. He's got a little bit of a belly on him. He's not like, he's not fat by any means, but he does have a little bit of a belly. It's not like a bunch of sculpted, bounce a quarter off of his abs. He's definitely a little bit doughier, but we blanked that version, and then it was just coming down to the coloring. And this was the version of coloring that Marvel and us aligned to for this version.
Yeah, no, he'd go great on the shelf because as I said, I always like the phrase when they pop on the shelf, like that's what my collection does, it pops. And I think he'd go great with Magneto and the Brotherhood of Mutants on a shelf for sure, all the same. And I remember what I was about to say about the VHS X-Men as well, by the way. I was just making sure, you know the character Morph exists, right? Morph. You've heard of Morph?
Yes, we're aware.
Yeah, well, okay. Dwight, you need to make sure these two know as well, all right? Morph, just put...
Yeah, those two gentlemen know a lot more about Morph than I do.
Okay, good, good. Just making sure. Just Morph. There's like whether you're collecting the VHS or you're collecting the comic figures.
Wait a minute. We gave you a Morph. We gave you Morph just a year or so in the AOA. So we're done, right?
Dan, you'll be proud, right? I just did a collection video and literally AOA. Look at that, AOA on display. There you go.
I confirmed it, man. I told PR if he didn't have the AOA collection, we're not gonna let.
Well, that's why I'm here. That's why we're here talking now. Like I'm happy, but it's there. It's official on the shelf. But no, just making sure you know. But yeah, whether you collect VHS or the Jim Lee style. I think Morph's a character we all want on the shelf. Also, Dwight was showing off his laundry at the end of the live stream, and you were folding up some clothes. And you seem to have shrunk your lab coat. That's disappointing. Like it's not fit anymore.
The most upsetting thing was it took my wife so long to find that for me, and the fact that I washed it in super hot and then dried it in super hot. I just wasn't thinking that day, I just it was a husband fail.
Well, what we may be able to turn this into a positive here, because that seems like it may be the perfect scale for Marvel Legends. Have you tried it on a Marvel Legend? Does it fit nice?
I hadn't thought of that. That's brilliant. Maybe we should look at that.
Just spitballing ideas for you. Just the characters like, I don't know, Beast. One of my favorite X-Men characters, Beast, would he likes wearing a lab coat. He's a clever guy. But Bruce Banner, we haven't had a comic Bruce Banner in a while.
Right.
Yeah, so that might give you an idea to explore into soft goods, because I know you guys haven't really went into soft goods too much. But does this mean this could potentially give us more? Explore the soft goods realm a little bit more, because a lot of characters wear capes.
It's true. So, lots of capes.
All right, just start shrinking some more stuff. Just start throwing stuff in the washer and just see what outshrinks and see what else we can come up with. And we'll talk again soon and we'll find out what's going on. I just want to confirm as well, because again, I've got a picture of all the reveals next to me, and I love my MCU stuff. Bravo on Ned, by the way. Ned looks so good. So happy to add Ned to the shelf. Is Ned all new, by the way? He looks all new.
Yeah, Ned is. Oh no, the watch is not new.
Oh, okay.
So I don't want to get caught. The watch is from.
So I wouldn't have noticed that, but someone would have. They would have.
Yeah. He borrowed that from his friend Luke Cage. So they're both New Yorkers. They might know each other. So he borrowed that. But the rest of them is new.
Yeah, as I said, just looking at the pictures, Bravo and Null as well, and Venom with the wings. And that, when I first seen Venom, I thought the wings were Sauron's wings. I don't know why, just my brain went to Sauron. But they're not, are they? They're brand new wings.
Correct.
For Venom, first time we're seeing them.
Correct. Brand new wings for Venom.
And I'm being educated by my friends of mine, the super producer Rich, etc. There's lots of other characters within that story that also have big wings as well. So maybe you could use them again in the future as well. Just giving you ideas for free today, lads. That's all I'm doing. But as I said, look at me. I'm invested at this point now. Sorry, I didn't realise that picture was still there. My bad. I should have took that down. Ignore that. I'll just sit this way. Let's finish up on Galactus. She showed Galactus in the background of the thing. Obviously, Haslab, we're all very much looking forward to. The things I love about Galactus is that he's pre-ordered, is paid for. Now we just have to sit back and wait for him to arrive. The Eater of Worlds, there he is. That looks impressive. Are you the only one with it in hand currently?
I think there's a couple of these around, maybe one or two of them at the office, but I'm he keeps me company.
He's so good. Everything good with him? Is he still on track for this year? Are we thinking summertime?
Yeah, we are. I don't want to speak about the dates, but as far as the actual development of him, we are just in the final stages of making final comments to fine tune the coloring, this is still a little bit of an earlier version here, so we're still getting those final tweaks on the color and the paint applications to make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. But he's coming along really nicely, and I don't think we were just a few weeks away from seeing our FEPs, which is this big boy in a box, a very, very large box. Yeah, so that should make Ryan happy.
He's the centerpiece of the show for sure. And just last question, I suppose this is going to be to Ryan. Should I start saving some pennies, put some money in a piggy bank? Because I do like the Haslab concept. Do you reckon it's a good idea I should start doing that? I'll have that in mind.
I think it's always wise to have a little bit of a fund set aside, because you never know when something might come up. But I think we do try to tease out future Haslabs, so when we're ready to, we tend not to just drop it out of nowhere. Like I think we did both for Galactus and Sentinel. So stay tuned for more. The year is young. We're only a third of the way through here.
Beautiful. As I said, lots more. You've got a brand new studio for your live streams as well, so I'm sure we'll be seeing more of them. But gentlemen, always a pleasure to talk to you from across the pond. I look forward to more Legends this year. As I said, we're only a quarter into the year, so we've got 3 quarters to go. I look forward to seeing what everything else is. And as I said, keep doing what you're doing, all right? I'm broke. Dan. I'm broke because of you guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Dan.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, Dan.
So once again, a massive thank you to the lads over at the Hasbro Marvel team, Ryan, Dan and Dwight. Always fun to talk with you guys, because I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little bit invested in Marvel Legends at this point. But as I said, we're 1 quarter into the year, lots of the year left to go, and it's nice to get some little tidbits here and there. I could sit here with a list of figures going, are you making this? Are you making this? But it's not how these interviews work. I like to just try and make it a little bit more of a conversation about some of the recent reveals. So hope you enjoyed. Obviously, if you like Marvel Legends, then trust me people, you are in the right place. Lots of reviews on the channel right now, live streams every week. So if you don't want to miss anything, make sure you please hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. You can also hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club, and you can come and literally be on the channel on a live stream. It is that simple. Follow me on Instagram. It's Dan Who. And I'm on Twitter as well. Tweet me, don't be shy, Dan Who Reviews. And until then, people, let me know what you think in the comments. And I will, of course, see you on the next one. Anyone notice Hippo?